the conclusion of the Decameron, Boccaccio wishes to address some of the criticism he already sees coming his way. For those who think the tales told are too licentious for women to hear and tell, anything can and should be said if phrased properly, which he thinks he did in the Decameron. He first confronts those who may have a problem with the language used in his tales. He counters he had to stay true to the tales themselves, otherwise he risked distorting their meaning. If someone reading has problems with the word choices used, they should have the same problems with everyday speech and words like wiener, fat sausage, hole, and any other words that might have sexual connotations. He argues his stories should be given the same consideration and freedom as the art of the time period. Plus, the stories were told not in a church, but in a garden, a place meant for pleasurable pursuits, just as his stories were meant to bring pleasure. He also manages to get another dig in at the clergy by saying there are a number of scandalous tales in the Bible. Boccaccio argues it is not the tales themselves that are to blame, but the way the person listening perceives and interprets them. He is not forcing anyone to read his stories. Hey, a sword is neither good nor bad. It's the person wielding it that determines its actions. Boccaccio again mentions that he created the Decameron with ladies in mind, who have little to fill their time with and require distraction, so length isn't an issue for them. Finally, Boccaccio leaves it up to the reader to make the decision about his skill, intent, and disposition of the tales provided in the Decameron. He can only thank God for his help in reaching the end of his work and hopes the women reading enjoy the tales. And if they did, they think of him fondly. Boccaccio's conclusion is as timely today as it was in medieval times. He mentions words and items like swords have no meaning beyond what the reader or user applies to them. There is relativity in this statement we still struggle with today with regards to gun use and what constitutes pornography. The idea judgment was personal and relative makes the Decameron something that can be read and debated even in modern times.